Hey guys, we're excited to partner with upcoming YouTuber James Lee of 5149. He's going to explain culture, politics, anything else that needs explaining, and we're really excited about it.
Yep, here is his latest effort. Let's get to it.
Hey there, my name is James Lee. Welcome to another segment of 5149 on Breaking Points. And today I want to talk about golf, specifically the PGA Tour's developing war against the Saudis' new LIV Golf Tour, because I think it provides us with an interesting case study of how institutions function, what their purpose is, who they're beholden to, and what kinds of external pressures they respond to. Now, I know some of you maybe aren't regular viewers of golf, or maybe a lot of you aren't regular viewers of golf, so I want to take a quick second to lay out the basics. Like most professional sports, professional golf is more or less organized regionally and dominated by these monopolistic leagues. In the United States, the premier organizer of competition is, of course, the PGA Tour. In Europe, you have the European Tour, now known as the DP World Tour. Those two tours are often viewed as having the most cachet and relatively on par with one another in terms of competitive quality. And then there are these other various affiliate tours around the other parts of the world, the Japan Golf Tour, PGA Tour of Australasia, the Sunshine Tour in South Africa, etc., etc. So like I was saying, the PGA Tour has pretty much held a monopoly over professional golf tournaments in the United States. They bring together the biggest sponsors with the most money, the best players, and the most fans. Prize money is awarded to players based on how well they do in the tournament. The winner makes, on average, north of $1 million. The top half all come away with some money, and the bottom half, unfortunately, receive no money at all. So a big difference here between pro golfers and maybe other professional athletes is that outside of individual sponsorship money, a paycheck is actually not guaranteed with participation like in most other sports. But all that is changing.
A golf tournament funded by Saudi Arabia is asking questions of how the sport is run and what, if anything, the sport stands for. At the Centurion course in the south of England, some of the world's best players have gathered.
It's an exciting time. I think it's exciting for the game of golf, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
Excitement all round. And this is a series of 8 tournaments aimed, we're told, at giving players more freedom.
LIV Golf has given them the opportunity for another pathway to be the independent contractors, go play where they need to play, when they want to play, for more money.
That's right, more money. And of course, the money is not really the controversial part here. It's the source of that money that's sparking the controversy, with LIV Golf being backed by the Saudi Arabian government, a country with rampant human rights abuses, most notably the murder of dissident Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi. But they also happen to have extremely deep pockets and have been poaching players with guaranteed money just to participate in their tournaments, from millions to tens of millions of dollars for some veteran players and even hundreds of millions for the top players. Quote, the widely reported figures include $200 million for Phil Mickelson, $125 million for Dustin Johnson, $100 million plus for Bryson DeChambeau, and between $20 and $30 million for the 46-year-old Ian Poulter. Now, in every professional sport dispute, the narrative of millionaire versus billionaires gets thrown around a lot. But the reality is there are actually a lot of golfers that are just grinding it out, playing a game for a living, no doubt, but not exactly living a glamorous lifestyle. For example, Andy Ogletree, the golfer who finished last in the first LIV Golf tournament, made $120,000 for playing in just that tournament alone, compared with just $38,000 in 2 years on the PGA Tour since he turned pro back in 2020. So you could see why golfers would want to join the LIV Golf Tour.
What is it about LIV Golf that attracted you?
You know, ever since I was first introduced to this idea, I thought it was, great for the game of golf. I was excited about a new format, kind of a new kind of golf that, I think is great for the game. It's great for the fans.
Nope, it's not that. Like we've already covered, golf is already played all around the world, so I don't really see how LIV Golf is going to grow the game. It's just about the money, and to me, the truth is always a defense, and I think sports fans are more or less okay with pro athletes being honest about the money. I mean, yeah, sure, there's a certain glory to competition and in winning championships, but a lot of incentives are financial, so we get it. You don't have to beat around the bush with us.
Just in, 9/11 families released a statement moments ago saying, quote, Phil knows exactly what he's doing, and he and his fellow LIV golfers should be ashamed. They're helping the Saudi regime sports wash their reputation in return for tens of millions of dollars. Joining us now, CNN contributor Bob Costas. Bob, great to see you in person.
Hi, Brianna.
What do you think of the controversy and how Mickelson responded to it yesterday?
Well, he's trying to smooth things out, but this is blood money. It's just no two ways around it. It's blood money. This is Saudi blood money. We know all we need to know.
Now, I'm not going to defend Saudi Arabia, obviously, but come on, morality? Are we really suggesting that we expect the same, if not higher standards from pro golfers and actual public servants who will take money from just about anybody? And to give golfers some credit, some have taken a stand while others have taken the money. I don't think we can or should expect much more than that. In a recent interview, Hall of Fame golfer Greg Norman, the CEO of LIV Golf, fired back at the PGA Tour for being hypocritical, saying, quote, "Look, if they want to look at it in prism, then why does the PGA Tour have 23 sponsors within the PGA Tour doing $40+ billion worth of business with Saudi Arabia? The European PGA Tour has a golf tournament, the Saudi International, that's still in existence since 2019, Norman said. And during that Saudi International, there were PGA Tour players who were given rights and waivers to go play there." I mean, the reality is the amount of money that's flowing around all throughout the world, there's no side that's truly clean. Yeah, you have one side definitely more evil than the other. We have capitalists, full-throated capitalistic greed on one side versus straight-up murders on the other. But the fact is, so far, 20 of the top 100 players in the world and 6 of the top 50 have already joined LIV Golf, with more on the way. And that leaves the PGA Tour terrified, so much so that they've taken unprecedented action to ban any golfers who tee it up in a LIV Golf event from future PGA Tour competition. They've also announced 8 additional events with a $160 million total purse for top players in no-cut tournaments with a guaranteed payout similar to the LIV Golf events. Now, when asked where the money came from in a recent press conference, the commissioner of the PGA Tour was basically forced to admit that there was always a little bit more money all along.
Jay, as you mentioned, through the resource allocation plan, it was announced today that purses will be raised at those 8 events moving forward. Just wondering, where do those increased funds come from? And if they were readily available, why weren't they being offered previously?
Like I said earlier, we're running a business. And so the changes that we're making, which will be roughly $45 million in incremental purse, is coming from a combination of sponsor contribution, ways to continue to sell more within those events themselves, and our reserves.
In reserves, you see, the PGA Tour's decision to go to war with LIV golfers, shaming them at first, even getting the 9/11 families involved, and when that didn't work, punishing them by banning them from future competition, isn't because they are human rights advocates or bastions of democracy or principled actors against evil. They're doing so to preserve the PGA Tour. That's it. That's why all of a sudden they're willing to shell out more money, because their survival is being threatened. Which brings me to the point I wanted to end on, which is a case study on institutions, their purpose, who they're beholden to, and what kinds of pressures they respond to. Machiavelli wrote in The Prince, quote, "A prince must have no other objective, no other thought, nor take up any profession but that of war, its methods and its discipline, for that is the only art expected of a ruler." The analogy I'm trying to make is that for any institution, PGA Tour included, the ultimate goal is self-preservation. They don't exist to serve players. They exist primarily to maintain their monopoly power over players. Who they actually serve are those who enable them to fortify their war chest and defend their monopoly, namely capital, the people who control that flow of money, aka, in their case, multi-billion-dollar corporate sponsors. And if I can take a brief detour from the golf and make another analogy to another almighty institution, the United States Congress, which I believe functions in a very similar way. I don't think it's really an accident that Congress has such low approval ratings. It's not that the Democrats and the Republicans don't know how to govern. It's that good governance takes a back seat to their real priority, which is, once again, self-preservation. It's not really incompetence that explains why they haven't raised the minimum wage or haven't been able to lower the prescription drug prices. It's that they were never meant to. And one final thought, just my 2 cents. Any appeal to morality or tradition from any institutional power is done with some degree of obfuscation. The truth is that institutions really they have no morals or traditions at all, other than to preserve their power. The PGA Tour doesn't care about human rights any more than Republicans care about life or the Democrats fighting for the little guy. Appeal to morality and tradition is a technique used to appeal to human emotion as a form of control. You shouldn't do this because the money is dirty. You can't vote for them because they're bigots, or you can't vote for them because they're radical liberals, etc., etc. The unfortunate truth is that in today's society, there are no more morals. There are no sides. There's just money. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed today's discussion about golf and about how institutions function. If you found this interesting and would like to learn more, please check out my channel 5149 with James Lee, where I release weekly videos relating to the intersection of business, politics, and society. Link will be in the description below. Of course, subscribe to Breaking Points, and thank you so much for your time today.
Cable news is ripping us apart, dividing the country, making it impossible to function as a society, and making it impossible to know just what is true and what is false. But the good news is they are failing and they know it.
That is why we're building something new, a new mainstream, a healthier one, something more trustworthy, something that we are going to need in one of the most pivotal times in American history. We are building up here for the midterms, for the upcoming presidential election, but we need your help. So if you can help us out by becoming a premium member today at breakingpoints.com, we're trying to change America for the better and the entire world.
So what are you waiting for, guys? Go to breakingpoints.com and sign up and help us build a new mainstream.